everyone to the Right Speak Increase Open House. For everyone who may watch in the recording, and for those of you who are live, you are super special to me right now because you are here and you're joining us live. So I'm so excited. So we launched the Right Speak Increase. Well, let me just back up. ELOHAI International, the company started in 2018. It was kind of a more metamorphosis from the previous company that I owned, and it was a branding company. Well, at one point, everyone that was coming to us for branding, they were authors. And so it just kind of made sense. God was like, just start this company and focus on really publishing books. And so I've been blessed to work with a ton of different people, just getting their stories out. And our team has been super amazing. And so we've been able to work with some really powerful people. Everyone that we work with, I believe they're special and powerful. Some of them have big names. And so some of them include Apostle Mike and Dee Freeman, James Fortune, who's a gospel artist. We've worked with some really amazing community leaders. Ebony Rice, she's a missionary, and she's also an author. She has written 2 books. And this is one of my favorite books from last year that we published. It was a recipe book, which was called Gather. And it was all about joining people together, recipes for hosting the presence of God with the people of God. We work with Veronica Wilson. She's very popular in the DMV area. She owns a cheerleading team called the Crimson Heat. They are like world champions. And so she wrote a really powerful book last year called It's a Setup. And so we were able to pretty much push out about 15 or 16 authors during the pandemic in 2020, which was so amazing. And one of the things that God really pressed on my heart last year was really focus on coaching new authors and helping people share their stories and really just make that a big focus. So we did a lot of different things, including launch a writing challenge. We relaunched this Right Speak Increase Academy in 2021. And we started to do public book launch parties, which have been really fun. So tonight, our agenda, we won't be here for a long time, but our agenda is number 1, I just want to tell you a little bit about me. Number 2, we're going to talk about Right Speak Increase Academy. What is Right Speak Increase? Number 3, you're going to meet 2 previous students and authors. And number 4, you're going to learn how to enroll in our next semester. So Right Speak Increase Academy, it operates just like, a school, like an online university. And so we have spring semester, and our spring semester students, they are really finishing up their books right now. They are getting their books out. We have a summer fall semester launching in August. Okay. And so we'll talk about that a little bit tonight as well. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about who I am. So I'm Natasha, and I'm your story coach. And so I've been in branding and communications for the past 20 years as a journalist, a marketing specialist, a publicist, brand strategist, a ghostwriter of over 30 books. And now I get to be a publisher. And this has been super fun to just be a publisher and to help people publish their stories after working in like music and entertainment and media. And so now it's like a lot of focus on books. And so that is super exciting. And I just love what I do. I'm a story person, so I just love to share stories in many different ways. And I'm talking fast because I know that I have held you all up for our icebreaker. So I just want to make sure that I'm respecting your time. But if you have any questions, please be sure to write them in the chat room. Okay, so you already saw that. Okay, so 6 years ago, I was featured by Black Enterprise Magazine because of my story. And at the time, I had a really compelling story in that I had been wrongfully accused of trying to kill my ex-boyfriend. That sounds really crazy and dramatic, right? But I had come from a crazy background. I had experienced domestic violence, and I didn't really know the power of my story. I really just wanted to like throw my story under the rug and not tell anybody. I was super embarrassed. I was working with Risa actually at that time, and so she can probably remember it was such a crazy time in my life. 2013, 14, and 12 were just super crazy times. But in 2015, God told me to write this book about my experience. And I was like, what? And I was super not excited about it. I was like, I don't want to do that. But, I just was obedient. And then he told me to publish. And I was like, okay, fine. But as soon as I published, my world changed. You know, I was contacted by Black Enterprise Magazine. They ended up writing 2 articles about me. One was this story, Turning Tragedy into Triumph, branding expert talks importance of owning your story. And then the second was a story about writing and publishing books. And so I didn't know much about it, but I just kind of shared my own experience, and it ended up kind of prophesying the future and what I would be doing. And now I really do talk to people about owning their story, because many of us are ashamed of our story because of what we've heard in the past. We are ashamed of how people will look at us. But once I really own my story, that is when my life took off. And that's when I was really able to kind of get in my groove and get into my purpose. Our story is the most unique thing about us, and it's what sets us apart from everyone else. Like, a lot of people can have your same tennis shoes, they can have your same hairstyle, they can have my nail color, but nobody else has my story. And so I really want to stress the importance of sharing your story, no matter who you are and no matter what that story is. And there are ways to share it in a way that won't embarrass you, that won't shame other people. And those are the things that we do and we talk about in Write, Speak, Increase Academy. All right, so the goal for Write, Speak, Increase Academy. So now we're moving to agenda item number 2, which is what's Write, Speak, Increase. And so we have 3 main goals. And the first goal is to help you write and publish your book. And so we help you do that through group writing coaching. So Elsa has been in Write, Speak, Increase. And so we have these amazing group coaching sessions. Also, you receive 30 days of nonfiction writing prompts in our Write, Speak, Increase Academy. And then you also receive a writing accountability partner who's on your journey and who's going to help push you to the finish line. And then you get book coaching with me. And book coaching, out of all the things I do, is actually the favorite thing I do in our business, because that is when I work one-on-one with authors. We really go line by line and we work through their story if they're having problems. Now, some people don't have problems writing, so we do other things in their book coaching meetings. But for those authors who do, we work really hands-on. So that's goal number 1 of Write, Speak, Increase Academy. Goal number 2 is to really help people master their message. And so how do we do that? We have 6 on-demand story coaching courses. And in the past, those courses have been live. But what I found is that during our coaching, our semester, it really does help to work in our groups on our books. And so we've been going back and forth, but going forward, we're going to make most of our teaching classes on demand. So you can watch them whenever you want, but then we're going to have meetups where we talk about them. We talk about the content. There are over 6 master classes, and there's one-on-one coaching with us. We have message templates. So many people are like, well, how do I even start to write a book? Well, that's what we do in Write, Speak, Increase. We give you templates to create those messages, whether it's your book, your chapter, your outline. Also, we have different templates for other story formats. So like bios, social media bios. We do a lot with social media marketing. And we just really, really help people master their message in a number of different platforms. And then the third thing we do is we have our VIP author program, which is when we work with authors, and we don't only teach, we don't only coach for 6 weeks, but our VIP author program is that program that's really going to walk with you for 4 months as you write your book and publish your book. And some people may take longer than 4 months, depending on their life, but it's we try to structure it in a 4-month program so that we can kind of walk with you and to help you master your message and get your book out within that time frame. And then we also have our author community with our monthly author marketing huddle, where we have a different topic. So last week I taught a course on mastering your pre-sale. So we did 10 what was it called? 10 steps to a successful pre-sales campaign. So everyone knows, like, when you release a book, you don't just want to drop your book, right? Just like Risa's a recording artist. So if she was going to release an album, she wouldn't just drop it out of nowhere. Well, maybe, because now that's like the Beyonce strategy. So, some people are doing that. But for most part, you kind of build up to it. You tell people it's coming. You tell people when it's going to be out. But in the book world, there's a successful way to kind of, as an independent author, recoup the investment that you've made in your pre-sale. So we did an author marketing huddle about that. And we do those monthly in our author community. And that's a community that's also included in this program. And then our third goal is to help our authors impact change. And so I keep saying authors, but let me just say it's visionaries, because some people have actually been through Write, Speak, Increase, but they didn't necessarily have a book that they wanted to write at that moment. They knew in the future they wanted to write a book, but really they joined for the speak part and the increase part, because we do really help people master their message. And for those people who don't have a brand yet or brand foundation, we help them create that. All right. And so when we talk about impact change, we want to talk about and really focus on helping people turn their book into a movement. And so many of the authors who join us, they think like, okay, I have this book and that's my whole goal is to write this book. Is the background music still supposed to be playing? No. Can you guys hear background music right now? No? Okay, that must have been an old message. Okay, great. All right, so I just saw that chat. I just realized that the pictures of you all are covering the chat, but I just saw that message. Sorry about that. So we talk about really turning your book into a movement. So it's not just about a book, and I'll go into that in a second, but it's not just about your book. Your book has a message. It has like a whole movement behind it. So we really help authors develop programs with their books, and so with their message, with their story. And so what does that look like? Does it look like a nonprofit? Does it look like a coaching program? Does it look like a recording album? What does it look like for you? Does it look like a play? Does it look like one of our authors, the one that I was just referring to, she is writing a book where her son passed from congenital heart failure. And so so now she is using her message to kind of advocate for like organ donations and really supporting programs like the Ronald McDonald House. So she's done a lot of fundraising for that. So your book and your message has a bigger movement behind it. And so I work with you all and our team to really figure out how to turn that book into a movement. Number 2, develop programs, products, and initiatives from your book or story. So merchandising is super big. So we really focus on that, And number 3 is learning our signature method to speak confidently on stages and online. So again, a book is only the beginning. So that is why this program is called Write, Speak, Increase. And the Academy is called Write, Speak, Increase, because really the writing part is the beginning. But once you write, you really want to get comfortable speaking. You want to get comfortable doing other things. And so in this new era of Write, Speak, Increase, we're going to focus really hard for 6 to 8 weeks on writing, and then we're going to focus on the increasing, the building a movement, the creating more from your story. Okay, so that's the second part of what we're going to talk about today. And so let me just kind of round this up by just saying writing is the first part, but you want to use your story to create avenues that increase your impact. And so we talk about in the program, we focus on writing and publishing, branding, broadcasting, building your community and your movement, developing content and programs, influencing your community as well, and then also licensing and selling. So how can we, what is it in your story that could potentially be licensed or sold or kind of repackaged and repurposed, okay? All right. I'm going the wrong way. All right. And so I wanted to just give you a real life case study. So your story is never really about just you, nor is it about just your book. So God always wants to use our voice and our story to get people unstuck, to take them to a different place. And so what happened with me when I published that book that I told you about first, this is my first book, 10 Lessons of Betrayal, it ended up turning into a nonprofit organization, which still exists today to support domestic violence survivors and victims. It turned into a domestic violence coalition. So different women and men all over the country and in a couple of other countries united to help others break free. it turned into a 10-week group program and curriculum. So we were contracted. I use this book as curriculum, and I work with different nonprofit organizations to have 5 and 10-week programs, speaking engagements. It turned into a prayer call that still exists today, almost 6 years later, merchandise, and also more authors. The biggest thing that God did is when I published this book, it then began to get in the hands of other publishers and also other potential authors who then asked me if I could help them. And so you never really know what your book is going to do for you. That's why it's important to write it, because it has something else attached to it. Okay, so I want you all to meet one of our previous students now, and she's actually a current author that we're finalizing her book. So I want to introduce Elsa Flores Lloyd to you all, and I'm going to pin her video and also just ask her to unmute. Okay, so Elsa, I just wanted you to talk a little bit about who you are and what your experience has been in the Write Speak Increase Academy.
So I am Elsa Flores Lloyd. I currently live in Colorado. I am currently in the military, and so I always wanted to write a book. This is something that has been in my mind for a little while, but I just didn't have that direction to get started. So I met Natasha through the launch of a person that I knew that Candace writes, and she launched her book. And so I liked her spirit. I liked the Christian background of the publishing company. And so I decided to attend um, this workshop, and it has been what I needed because it's very organized. It, the the partnership with your accountability partner, it just keeps you going, and you learn a lot from this other person. And I have to say the writing challenge has been the biggest challenge for me, but it's been good because it's keeping me, and it's a step-by-step process. I it's not easy, but she has made it easier to get through this journey. I am looking forward to finishing my book. The goal is that I'll be doing my launching my book in September, and so she's keeping me accountable. That is the goal, to get it done. I'm super excited, and I feel that this devotional that I'm writing, it's what is going to convey my experiences and in my relationship with Jesus, and I can't tell you. I encourage you to do it. You won't regret it. Even if it's going to take you a little bit longer, the thing is, commit to it and do exactly what she tells you to do, and you will have a product that you will be proud of.
That's awesome. Thank you, Elsa.
Welcome.
So if you all have questions, you can definitely put them in the chat room. I do want to share one video with you. Elsa mentioned an author by the name of Candace Wright. And so we had Candace on. And so I want to just share some of her comments as well with you all.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hey, Natasha. Thank you so much for having me again tonight to just share my story and our journey and where I'm at now as a published author. So just a brief introduction. My name is Candace. I'm a boy mom. I'm a minister. Thanks to God and Natasha, now I'm an author, and I am also a mental health advocate, and I am the author of Breathe, Rest, Reflect, Reset, which is part memoir detailing my battle with depression, anxiety, alcoholism, as well as suicidal ideation. And it's also part Bible study, and it journeys through the life of the Old Testament prophet Elijah. And Natasha asked me to share, where I was this time last year, because I was actually on a Zoom call like this time last year. Natasha was getting ready to start up her writers challenge for aspiring authors to go on this journey with her into becoming published authors. just to back up before God connected me with Natasha, December of 2019, I had just got out of a marriage. I was heavily battling with alcoholism. I was depressed. I was anxious. I started, having thoughts of suicide. I started entertaining those thoughts. I've dealt with depression and anxiety and substance abuse for many years now, and I never really took the time to heal from it because I suppressed it. And it was in December of 2019 where I had this attempt where I realized in that moment that I didn't want to take my life. I just wanted the pain to stop, and I didn't have the tools. So I thought, for the pain to stop. And in that moment, I told God, if you get me out of this again, because it wasn't my first time dealing with, those suicidal thoughts, I would do the work and I would heal this time, and not just survive things that I've experienced, but I would do the work to heal. And in that process of healing, in that process of going to therapy and having that time with God, God told me to write out every single thing that he's having me go through in this season. And while I was writing everything out, God connected me with Natasha. And in that moment, I didn't know what God was doing. All I knew is that I had this story and I have this healing journey that I'm currently embarking on. And God is telling me to write every single thing that I'm going through. And when God connected me with Natasha, I had the story, but it was so many different compartments to my story. I didn't know exactly what it was that I was supposed to be writing, and even how to start. And going through Natasha's course, it was not only therapeutic for me, but it was also healing for me, for her to say, hey, let's talk about this and put this in writing. And I was able to not only digest parts of my story, but then I was also able to write it in a way that, as Natasha was talking about earlier, that other people will want to read it. So going through Natasha's program, I was able to go through it those 30 days. I was able to not only just go through it and go through the prompts and everything that she had us do, but then 3 months later, after Natasha's challenge, I was done writing my book. And I was able to give it to her and us go back and forth. And it was very, not only therapeutic for me, but then also others,
Okay. So thank you all so much for watching that. So that's Candace Wright. She's like one of our favorite authors. Her book is amazing. All of our authors are my favorite authors. I don't know why I say that. All like 200 of you guys. So I wanted to share now, again, I told you I wasn't going to keep you long, but I want to just share what Write, Speak, Increase includes, what it's all about, how we work, and just also how you can get involved. And so I'm going to share my screen once more. And then also, as we're doing that, if you have questions, please type them in the chat room. If you have comments, yes, look at God, right? If you have comments, type them in the chat room. But I'm going to go ahead and share. And you could probably see the actual URL, and I'll type it in the chat room. But it's just our website /join WSI. I'm going to type it in the chat room in case anyone wants to kind of follow along. But again, the whole goal of Write, Speak, Increase Academy is to help you write and publish your book, master your message, and impact change. And so it's a school for mission-centered visionaries, aspiring authors, and kingdom entrepreneurs. And so we empower students to write masterfully, publish profitably, and speak confidently while excelling in the marketplace, building believable brands, and launching purposeful programs. And so, and this is for anybody, if you're looking to write and publish your best-selling book, you're launching to your purpose, profit from your story, become a captivating speaker, create compelling content, show up consistently on and offline, and overcome writer's block and procrastination. This is for you. And so specifically, the program helps our authors write their books in 30 to 60 days. Also, we create strategies and help them implement strategies to become best-selling authors, to speak confidently, to create programs that impact change, and to build community around their messages. So the program includes, and academy includes 6 weeks of coaching and courses. And again, it's kind of going to be different this time. I'm going to say 6 to 8 weeks because usually we do a lot of our courses live, and I'm going to talk about the courses in a second, but now they're going to be on demand. So you can watch them whenever you want. And then we're going to use our in-person live time to really, really focus on the books. Okay. And it includes with our VIP writing and publishing option, it includes coaching and working with myself and my team for 4 months. All right. And then it also includes our 30-day nonfiction book writing challenge, which you heard Elsa and Candace speak about. That is one of the major parts of the program. And it starts in the very beginning of the academy of the semester, because we really want you to focus on your book for 30 to 60 days and to really, really flesh out that content. So in our nonfiction book writing challenge, every single day, authors receive like a different prompt to kind of build their book one day at a time for 30 days. And then you also will have an accountability partner. There's going to be master classes. So we have both live and recorded master classes where different experts will come in. You know, some people will talk about like branding. You know, we talk about sales for authors. We talk about video, creating video content, as well as yeah, the master classes are awesome. Absolutely. So we talk about a lot of different topics. And whenever I find that there is something that the authors are asking for a lot, like for instance, next week, we're going to be doing a master class on Amazon and how to master the back end of Amazon pre-sales, also Amazon best-selling, getting on the best-selling list on Amazon, things like that. We're going to talk about that next week. And so we will have that available. So whenever I notice something that the authors have questions about, we create new classes for them. Okay. And so then it also includes access to the recordings. And so going forward, our Write, Speak, Increase authors will have access to a portal with the videos and just the different content that we create and that they have developed in the semester. And then you also receive membership to our private coaching community. And then what's not included in here is that each semester will have their own like chat. So we have like WhatsApp chat for different groups in Write, Speak, Increase, and also the writing challenge. Okay. And so I'm going to go to the classes, which are going to be on demand, but our first class is it's called Your Best Story. And so that's where we talk about the essential elements of good storytelling. So we script their brand story, also identify the qualities about the author's life and experiences that will help them connect with their ideal readers, and also develop a plan to enhance their image and influence with their personal story. So pretty much using your personal story to create impact for your brand and for your movement. The second class is called Book Writing Made Simple. This is when, and it's probably going to be flip-flop this time, but we'll probably have Book Writing Made Simple as our first class. Well, you'll be able to watch them whenever you want, I guess I should say, because they're all going to be on demand this time. But this is where we talk about, we start our challenge, our writing challenge, as well as we start planning your book writing content, like your book content, creating your writing goals, developing your outline, and also you will work with your accountability partner. So every week accountability partners meet, and you'll also be meeting with me every week. So the group will meet with me and the group will meet with their accountability partners, and we'll kind of focus on that. Class 3 is called Write What's Real Well. And so that's where we talk about story plot, character development, how to write a compelling story, how to make a page turner. And then the next class 4 is called Movements in Marketplace, where we learn how to turn your book into a movement, minister through your message and stories, and create unique content to turn your book into programs. And then the 5th class is about publishing. So we kind of go into the details of book publishing, the business of publishing. We talk about, do you need to start a business? How do you distribute your book? How do you track your royalty? So we really go into the details of the publishing business. And then our last class is called Speak and Increase. And this is where we really deal with our formula for masterful and profitable broadcast, live broadcasts, as well as speaking on stages. And so we really work with authors to like overcome that fear of public speaking. And then we have a ton of master classes that we're still building out. And so right now we have a class called Build a Luxury Brand. We have the steps to successful pre-sales campaign, video and film for social media. So these are different experts where they come in and they talk sales and author marketing, children's book market, and Amazon back end for authors. And then we talked about our 30-day writing challenge. Okay. And so this is kind of what it costs. It's not $49.97, but we normally do an early bird special. And so we're doing that today for this semester, for our next semester. And the early bird special, it ends on July 1st. And that's $397, and you get all of those things that we talked about, as well as we have something called the Story Template ebook. So that has templates for social media, press releases, email releases, and book chapters. Okay. And then regular admission includes everything we just talked about. And then our VIP author program includes everything in Write, Speak, Increase, but it also goes forward to actually publish your book, publish your ebook, publish your book, coach you through the writing process, as well as providing 50 paperback books. And so there are payment plans that come with each program. And that's pretty much what Write, Speak, Increase is. It's a story coaching school that helps visionaries really master their message, write and publish books, and impact change. So I don't know if you all have any questions tonight, but that is certainly how to join us. And I'll tell you again, for those of you who might be interested, again, whether you're watching online or if you're here live, we do have a fast action bonus. So if you enroll in the next semester by Thursday, we're going to actually start you early. So again, the semester doesn't start until August 9th. We don't officially start until August 9th. But for those of you who enroll like this week, we're going to start early. So you're going to get an early book coaching session with me. You're going to get outline guidance. So I'm going to coach you through the outline guide, like the outline, and you're going to basically jumpstart your book in June. So by the time we start in August, your book could be like well on its way to be finished. So again, you meet early with me now, and we start you off now. And what's amazing about getting the outline guidance now is that's the beginning of the writing challenge. And so Elsa can tell you, like in the beginning of the writing challenge, we really focus on outlining and really getting your ideas on paper. And so if you get this started now, you're going to be well on your way. So Risa says, great info. I think you answered everything. My concern is scheduling, but you mentioned having access. Yes, Risa. So you have access to all the classes. And so when we meet weekly, what normally we do is I poll the authors and I say, okay, what day is everybody available to meet? And so in our last semester, pretty much Thursday nights work for most people. So that's what we normally do, is like see when people are available to meet, like when the majority of the group is available to meet. And we're going to do the on-demand classes so that when we meet, we're going to really be focusing on your book. So we're going to really pay a lot of attention on your book and like what you're writing and why you aren't writing, or what you're writing well, what needs help. You're going to be able to ask me questions. We do a lot of reading. So you're going to read sections of your book during those sections, and then during those sessions, and we're going to coach during that. And then you can watch the classes on your own time. And when we get back together, you can ask questions about the content. So Elsa says, I've rewatched the classes more than once to make sure I understood. Oh, that's awesome, Elsa. I'm so glad that you have been rewatching. Yeah, the content is super good. And so I realized that it's so rich, and like you get homework every week. So I am going to encourage people to actually watch the content after we go through our first 6 weeks of the program. I'm going to encourage everyone to really, really watch this content so we can come back together and you can still do the homework. So I'm still working out the details of like the scheduling and how it'll be, but I know we're going to start in August and it'll go for at least 8 weeks. So that's 2 months. And then for those who continue on for the VIP author program, which is pretty much publishing, we're going to work together for an additional 2 months, 2 to 3 months publishing your book. So I don't know. Does anyone have any additional questions? Thank you for sharing that, Risa, and also Elsa, just for sharing your feedback. So again, I just want to reiterate, there's a fast action bonus. So I'm going to be working with whoever signs up for Right Speak Increase. I'm going to work with you this month so that you can actually start, because I know that the summer months like July is a big time like that people have to write. So I want to make sure that we get people started now, and you don't have to wait until August if you're ready now. So again, for those who are ready, you can sign up now and we can start getting you prepared, getting your outline done, really coaching you through the beginning parts of your book process. So, yep, that's the website. It's ELOHAI.com/join WSI. And I'll send everyone an email to follow up, as well as the video from this open house. But I'm not sure, does anyone else have any questions? Do you want me to address anything else? Let's see. Great presentation, Natasha. Praying for success and great stories. Thank you. And now let me just show you guys one last thing. I mentioned her, but this is Dinita Washington. And so for those people, some people say, well, what about if I don't have anything? I don't have a website yet. I don't have a brand. And so many of our authors are in that same position. And I'll show you some different author like sales pages. So we also create like these sales pages. So this is Dinita. This is the author who just went through Right Speak Increase, and we were able to get her book out in a matter of days last week. And she had a really super successful book launch. And so she didn't have a website yet. She didn't have like a brand. And I always tell authors, you don't have to be perfect to go public. And our team really works with people to help you be presentable, have a successful author brand no matter where you are in the process. So this is just an example of like a book sales page that we can do. And so, primarily you want people to be able to order your book and sign up for your email list and then read about the book. So, we do all the packaging, the book design. We work with the authors and we create, their description for their books. We coach them on getting, okay, now it's time for you to get testimonials. And so Dinita was able to get several testimonials for her book, which all promotes the book sale. She created merchandise. So as you can see, we talk about creating merchandise. She has a movement where she really, really promotes heart transplants and organ donations. So she has merchandise to kind of go with that. And then, we help authors also kind of reshape themselves and what should I say? Not reshape, represent themselves and create a bio if you don't have a bio. And then also establish social media, a social media presence. So that's one example. And then we also launched another author this week, and I'll share her. And so this has been an amazing spring so far. We launched 3 authors last week. And so Shlonda Nottingham, this is her book. It is called Self-Love is Loving Me Unconditionally. So she kind of announced her pre-sales, so people can now pre-order her book. And she announced that on Sunday. And so kind of the same thing. And so one of the things we're really big on is author branding and video marketing. So she worked with our video team to create a series in life where she worked with our video team to create a series of videos. So when authors want to do that, we can also do that after pain.
In my new book, Self-Love is, I'm going to take you on a journey of knowing yourself, loving yourself, and embracing your God-given identity.
So yeah, we can work with authors and kind of do whatever it is. And so some of our authors, like Shalana, is getting her website built now. We have another author, Jaya, that we launched last week as well. And so she was getting her website built when she was in her pre-order, but she wasn't ready yet. So like her website wasn't ready yet. So we were able to kind of use a landing page for her so that she can start to get pre-sales for her book until her real website launch. And so then her website launched, and we didn't design her website, but we were able to be that kind of middle ground so that, you know, before she was able to continue to move forward with her brand as an author, even without having her official website yet. So that is pretty much all that I have for you today. I just wanted to kind of give you information about Write, Speak, Increase, and kind of what we do and how we help authors. And if you guys have any questions for me, you can certainly email. I'll type my email in the chat room. Or you can just go to you can go to writespeakincrease.com. That won't give you all of the like the pricing, but if you go to the join, the ELOHAI INTL/join WSI, that'll give you the pricing information. But I will send you all another email just to follow up. And I thank you all so much for your time. Thank you, Risa and Elsa and Andre and everyone who will join us later. Bye, everyone.